What is something most people don't realize can psychologically mess someone up in the head? As a parent, being too egotistical to admit you're wrong and always blaming your kids for everything or making them feel stupid about what they know rather than admitting you were wrong. For as long as I can remember, my mom would always make sure to sit my brother and I down and apologize to us if she felt like she wronged us, and then we would discuss our feelings. She lost her temper and yelled at us once when we were little, and then later apologized, saying it was wrong and that it's okay to feel upset or hurt. I'll always remember that because it showed us at a young age that adults aren't always right and that it's okay to admit you were wrong. Being lied to consistently by someone you had built trust in, and then finding out you were lied to. I don't think some people realize that trust issues can't just be unlearned instantly, and that reassuring someone isn't necessarily going to help. People mocking your smile or laugh. If people say, "You laugh too loudly," or "You smile weird," you won't be able to smile for a while without instantly catching yourself and stopping. Traffic accidents. Exactly 5 years ago today, I was in a bad one. I wasn't injured, but it was pretty bad. 7 vehicles, 10 victims, 2 car fires, and a major freeway shut down for 3 hours. After it was all over, I went back home, bought another car with the insurance money, and went back to my life. No worries, right? A year later, I was almost in another accident. A white pickup truck, like the one in the previous accident, blew through a stoplight and almost hit me head-on. It was a good thing I had the day off, because I spent the rest of the day shaking like a leaf. I didn't realize until that moment how bad I'd been fucked up by the accident, and I've been working through it ever since. A shitty job where you aren't valued. Being repeatedly told, "It doesn't matter who started it," with it being physical violence. Sometimes only one person is starting that violence, and that is abuse. Yes, even when the people involved are children. Yes, even when the victim defends themselves. Telling me that over and over eventually taught me I couldn't fight back if I wanted any adult to believe me, which was a dangerous lesson that facilitated later abuse. Never learning to forgive yourself. Never taking a break from school or work and having a day to yourself can really clear your mind up. If you work all day, it can really damage you and how you approach work situations. And also you need to have an actual weekend, someone's 2 days off in a row. My wife never had consecutive days off for years, no matter how much I implored her to. When she finally started doing that, sometimes she acknowledged what a difference it made. Homelessness. The longer you are experiencing homelessness for, the more fucked you become. I was without a home or a job for just a month in a city, and it was by far one of the most challenging and depressing experiences I've ever had that still to this day affects my mental health. Imagine people who can't get out for years. Homelessness can create mental disorders. Poverty. The poor are the butt of many jokes, are generally disliked and mistrusted, and suffer a lot more than most of us. On top of that, it can fuck up your thought patterns and your behavior for a long time. I didn't grow up poor, but I've spent the last 12 to 13 years being broke AF after moving out of my parents' house. I'm now married to a man who makes quite a bit of money and am about to start a really well-paid job myself, but I still carry a lot of my poor person habits. There are probably a lot more than this that I haven't realized yet. These stick out the most in my mind. 1. I never ever open my mail, because nothing good comes in the mail. Mail is collections notices for bills I couldn't avoid racking up and don't have the money to pay off, so there's no point in opening any of it. 2. Doctors are bad. Not because they're evil and mean and can't help me, but because they're someone that you pay a lot of money, because you don't have insurance, because your shitty job doesn't offer it, to lecture you about everything you have going on that's going to kill you if you don't spend more money that you don't have to fix it right now. 3. Building up savings is a pipe dream because I'm living paycheck to paycheck. May as well spend it all now since I'm gonna die soon from lack of medical care, and you can't take it with you. Like I said, there's probably more that I haven't even realized I do yet, and I'm definitely going to be out of these woods very soon. But it's a self-destructive, fatalistic mindset that is very hard to break yourself out of once you're there. Ghosting. I don't think anyone realizes just how long someone will question, "What exactly did I do wrong?" In my experience, people take it a lot better when you're upfront and honest, because at least then they can skip the soul searching. Forcing others to constantly listen to your own problems without providing relief. It's emotionally exhausting and can be just as harsh to deal with as your own issues. I had a friend like this who I initially pitied before I grew to despise him. It was always something shitty going on, and no one had it worse than him. He was the type of person to enter a room and make it grow silent as people made their excuses to quickly depart. My husband and I paid for him to see a therapist because we couldn't handle the emotional stress he was unloading on us, and we agreed he needed to see a professional. He accused us of dumping his problems on someone else, and I just had to call it quits for my own sanity. I told him not to contact me again and blocked him on all social media platforms. I had to set a boundary for myself before it caused me more stress. Good thing too, because the guy was a complete psycho who made like 5 dummy accounts pretending to be a group of friends to gaslight me. Ongoing stress and anxiety slowly builds deep psychological trauma. Everything pisses you off. Even the slightest things ruin your day. Fuck stress. Gaslighting. Seeing, hearing, experiencing one thing and then being told that it never happened or that you are remembering it wrong. Doubting my own sanity was the worst part of my marriage and divorce. I still don't trust my own memory. Bed bugs. Maybe overly dramatic, but I'm dealing with a minor case RN and am scratching myself bloody from phantom itching. No bites, no welts, since having the apartment treated, but the paranoia is driving me up a wall. I'm scared to walk around in my own apartment, and have had multiple panic attacks daily since this whole thing started. It doesn't help that I'm also agoraphobic, and my home has now become an unsafe place. Social media. Social media gives such polarized views of everything, and everything is important and urgent all the time. For a long time, I've tried to incorporate a simple question to whatever I see in the internet. Should I care about this? More often than not, the answer is no. I don't care about what my old high school friends are up to these days. I don't care what's in the news this instant. I don't care who was cancelled today or yesterday. I don't care what Elon Musk tweeted. I don't care if I'm missing out because I'm not investing in NFTs. For the most part, I don't care. What do I care about? My family, my hobbies, my job, to an extent of 7.5 hours a day, Monday to Friday, my well-being, the well-being of my family and closest friends. And here's the thing, I don't care what you care about. I do hope you care about important things. Important to you. Don't go caring about stupid shit that's not worth caring about. Dismissing mental health issues as being weak or selfish, especially if those dismissing the issues are your family members or people you looked up to. Yelling at a child and telling them they are a failure and can't do anything right. I'm still messed up from it, but my dad doesn't understand that. My family is the type to suck it up and not talk about it. Telling someone to stop crying because their problems aren't as bad as others. If a grown person wants to cry because they're having a hard day or whatever, give them privacy and let them cry. Lack of physically human touch absolutely destroys my brain almost daily. Cheating. You don't know how much anxiety and self-doubt it can give to someone. You'll forever wonder if you're enough or if there's something wrong with you to deserve that kind of treatment. Stop wondering. Cheaters cheat. There's nothing you can do to prevent it. It's not about you. The lesson to take from getting cheated on is to think about what warning signs and red flags you might have previously overlooked. It's not a personal failing to have overlooked them. People usually judge others by themselves, and people who are trustworthy assume others will be too. But people really often do overlook things they shouldn't, because they think that thing isn't a big deal, is a common reason, but a small thing can be indicative of very big underlying problems. Things that indicate a lack of respect for you, a lack of consideration for your feelings, selfishness, jealousy. That's usually a sign of a cheater. It's important to be willing to walk away in the early phases of a relationship. It's too small to break up over. No, it isn't. The only reason you need to end a relationship is that you've chosen to. Cheating is a choice made by the cheater. No other person is responsible for that choice. Not the person they cheated on, nor the person they cheated with. Being told, "If you leave me, just know, no one will ever want you," and then having nothing but horrible experiences with men ever since. Watching the news a lot. Parents, treat your kids equal. It sucks when you don't. I expect more out of you. Am disappointed in you. Stuff like that. I did study. I suck at taking tests. Am trying my best. This took a weird turn with my sister and I. My parents were big on equal treatment, including financial investment. I got my life together after school and my sister imploded. She still needs constant support to function, if you want to call it that, and I haven't needed anything since I left home. Now my mom just hands me money sometimes with this sad look on her face, which is my only sign that my parents bailed out my sister again and feel guilty that they didn't do the same for me. Like having a happy tune play in my house every time someone else is sad. Infertility and miscarriage loss. Incredibly common stuff, but still treated like taboo subjects. As someone who experienced both and recently had a successful pregnancy, the warring emotions you have are hard to deal with. So thankful for the new life you created, still grieving the baby that should have been. Grieving the loss of a regular or normal pregnancy and birth experience. Basically treating your body like a science experiment. Thousands of shots, medications, tests, procedures. It fucks with your head. Bad. Other people's experiences. For example, I've never been cheated on, but I've seen so many of my friends getting destroyed by a cheating girlfriend that I now have a sort of pathological aversion to people who seem like they might cheat. It was especially pronounced when I was doing my military conscription. Virtually every guy who had a girlfriend got cheated on or at least broke up, and I do think that messed me up a little. It's kinda hard to have faith in relationships when you've witnessed so many of them fail in such a fashion, even if you've never experienced it yourself. What's something that can psychologically mess someone up do most people not realize? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.